The S25 Ultra has been out for exactly 45 days, nearly 2 months. How's it been since then? Are there any issues? Come with me throughout my day to find out. Okay, I've been using the Galaxy S25 Ultra for the last 4 months now, and I finally have the answer to the big question. Who is this phone actually for? We are going out though, so we have to be out and about right now. Today we are going to Toronto side with the S25 Ultra, testing out its cameras, testing out the battery maybe. Oh, it's way too hot to wear my jacket. It's apparently 16 degrees outside here. And just look at that, that's 16 degrees. Anyways. Welcome to a new video, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel where I make content around tech, accessories, and my experience with it to try to help you make the best decision for you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the S25 Ultra, how it's held up, the good, the not so good, and ultimately, who should consider picking it up. So stick around to find out. If you like this kind of content, definitely be sure to support the channel by giving a like and subscribe to the channel as well. And now let's get into it while I suffer in this traffic. So after about an hour of traffic later, we finally reached our destination and it was super sunny and bright outside, which is great. We finally reached the viewpoint or lookout point. This is called Chester Hill Lookout, and it's a point on the outskirts of the city overlooking the DVP and the skyline of Toronto, and it is a pretty view of the city. Okay, so before diving into my experience, here's a quick overview of the new things in this phone. So the design, of course, as you probably know by now, it has rounded corners, or rounded edges rather. That makes it easier to hold in the hand. It doesn't like dig into your palm, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And it has a bigger display. It's only 0.1 inches bigger, from 6.8 inches to 6.9 inches, but it is bigger in a smaller body. It pretty much feels the same. The ultra-wide camera also got an upgrade from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, so that's pretty good. This phone also launched with One UI 7, which is supposed to be a big overhaul update for the Samsung phones. As far as I know, the S24 Ultra and before still don't have it yet, so that's kind of an upgrade so far. And it's also integrated with Galaxy AI, which also integrates well with Google Gemini. And finally, the S Pen. Now, the new thing for this year is that it is a downgrade from last year and years past, but again, we'll also get into that a little bit later. Oh, GTR. Damn. So let's start off with the design. Now the rounded corners do make it a lot more comfortable to hold in the hand. It doesn't like dig into your palms or anything like that, or it doesn't give you that anxiety, or at least it gave me the anxiety of ripping my pockets when it was in my pockets. With the S24 Ultra especially, that was a very sharp phone. But I have noticed less hand fatigue compared to previous Ultra models, which is a good thing. It reminds me a little bit of the iPhone and the Pixel with its rounded, sort of comfortable, like natural for the palm to hold design, but it's still uniquely Ultra with its sharp edges. However, it has lost a little bit of its industrial kind of identity. Before, you could tell that a phone was an Ultra phone by its sharp corners, but now, not so much. The redesign is nice. I like to see good like hardware upgrades and designs over the years, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more grip. Okay, so the design's grown on me, but what about the thing that you stare at all day long? The display. So like I said, it's bigger at 6.9 inches from 6.8 inches, which is pretty good. It doesn't really feel bigger in the hand, so that's also good. It has the same 2600 nits of peak brightness as the S24 Ultra, which is again good. It rivals competitors like the Pixel and the iPhone, but the Pixel is higher and the iPhone is lower, so this is kind of like right in between. And it has again the Gorilla Glass Armor 2 anti-reflective coating, which is a game changer. I love this feature. I don't know why more phone manufacturers aren't putting this in their phones, because this is really like, if you don't have that much brightness, that's fine, but if you have an anti-reflective coating, that changes everything. And the S25 Ultra also has improved speakers, and surprisingly, they actually rival the iPhone now, so it's amazing for media consumption in that regard as well. And the impact on battery? Little to none. Like, I don't really notice any kind of impact. It has great battery life. Yeah, I can still get through a whole day despite this amazing display. So the display on this guy is A+, as it's always been. That's not really a surprise. Samsung has always killed it in the display category, and this year is no different. Good job, Samsung. So now for the camera. It's mostly the same as last year, the setup and everything, even the design is the same, but with a couple of upgrades. So the ultra-wide lens jumps from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, but will the average consumer notice? I don't even think so, because even I don't notice. So this is 0.6. This is 1 times This is the 3 times telephoto. This is 5 times. And this is the max 20 times zoom. You can even see the BMO sign there. And back to 0.6. So while the video recording is pretty good on the S25 Ultra, I still find it a little bit grainy in the darker areas of the picture compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which you can see the comparison right now on screen. But yeah, besides that, everything else is pretty good, and they're really not that far apart this year. And with the Galaxy AI, there's also a bunch of like AI features baked into the camera, but most of them, like maybe like Magic Eraser or something, are more gimmicky than actually useful. But like previous years, this camera is more than capable for pro users and non-pro users alike. But the AI features, a little bit gimmicky. There's also this cool slider thing where like you can smoothly slide between like the different lenses, which is pretty nifty if you ask me. Kind of simulates the proper like point and shoot experience. So Samsung introduced log video recording this year, and log video recording is basically the equivalent of like raw photos, if you are familiar with that. Basically, it unlocks a whole heap of editing capabilities. You can edit the color, the lighting, and everything like that, pretty much exactly how you want it to. But what about for us non-pro users? There's actually this really helpful feature where if you swipe up, you get this button here called Color Correct, and it automatically just does it within like a second. There's also Galaxy AI features, and the first one I want to test is the audio eraser feature, which basically enhances my background noise. And as you can see, I'm like right near the DVP, which is super loud, filled with cars, traffic all around me, and it's in general always kind of busy. If you know, you know. But yeah, let me know what you think of audio eraser in the comments down below. I think it's pretty handy, but it's not like game changing, at least not yet. So we spent some time there, and there were also some really nice houses. We then made our way to the outskirts of Toronto to get some dinner. Heiko, I like my pizza how I like my phones, rounded. So I'm just looking back at some of these videos, and they're really good. But the thing I said about the dark areas being a little bit grainy and like kind of noisy is still true, especially compared to the iPhone. But dude, that front-facing camera is insane. It's really good, vibrant. You can see the background properly, and it's nice and blurred out. I like it. S25 Ultra camera, pretty impressive, even though there's like not that many changes compared to last year. We ate our dinner with a view of traffic going by while the sun was setting on the buildings, which perfectly captures a typical day in the city. And then paint night. This was my painting so far. This is what the goal was. Yeah, I ain't no Picasso, but if you like my attempt, definitely put the paint emoji in the comments down below. Fast forward to the next day. But speaking of the camera and the AI features, Samsung is pushing Galaxy AI hard on this phone. But which features do I actually use, and which features are actually useful to you and me both alike? So one of those features is Circle to Search, and it's pretty useful, but it released last year with the S24 Ultra, so it's not a new AI feature or anything. And in fact, it's not even a part of like Galaxy AI. It's part of Google's Gemini and like Google AI basically. It's just Samsung and Google have partnered to kind of integrate it into Samsung flagships, so there's that. But yeah, Circle to Search is really useful when I do use it, and I do use it more than the other features. There's also a new feature on the S25 Ultra this year and all the S25 series of devices called Now Brief. Now, I've tried to use it, but it's not really my thing. It's only really useful and unique, I would say, compared to like the Dynamic Island or something on iPhone. When like there's a game going on or something and you want to know the score and you don't want to like search it up or anything, it literally has it on the status bar for you to like check in on without having to tap anything. It just stays there no matter what you're doing on the phone. So that's really useful. But besides that, I don't really use the Now Brief feature that much, and I feel like it could just be anything else. It's good that it's on the bottom of the lock screen when you do need to use it. Like there's a midday brief right now. If I open it, like you'll see, it took a while to load, but it just shows me the weather and some news or like a playlist from Spotify that I might want to listen to according to the AI. Yeah, I literally have a widget for this over here, so I'm not really sure what the use of that is, but I mean, it's there. It could probably get better with software updates. And like I mentioned in the camera part of this phone, there's generative edit and audio eraser. Both of these are AI features and they're pretty cool. I gotta say, they're a really cool party trick, but mostly they're a party trick. And everything else in the software, like the AI features, are kind of a little bit gimmicky. I don't really use much else beyond that. Like the Now Bar and Now Brief and Circle to Search are all really great, and that's kind of all I need. But If you want, there are more AI stuff. Like there's writing assist, there's call assist or whatever it's called. There's like voice notes and stuff like that, but I use Notion, so it doesn't really apply to me. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of other AI features that are on this phone, but I only really use 2 or 3 of them. This does make me curious though. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you use AI on your phone, or do you use it on your laptop, like on ChatGPT or something? Or do you use both? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving forward to the S Pen. Oh, the S Pen. Is it controversial this year? Okay, I'll be real. I never really used the S Pen on the S25 Ultra or any kind of Ultra model phone, or even the Notes back in the day. I mainly really used it for like the little buttons, the clicking, the satisfaction of those. But the one thing that made me use it more was the Bluetooth functionality and the features that came with it. Remote shutter, media controls. Yeah, they're all gone. Why? Well, Samsung says that less than 1% of users actually use those features, but what do we get in return? Nothing. Honestly, man, if they're just gonna start stripping features like that, they might as well just get rid of the S Pen entirely. Like if less than 1% users use it, and I'm pretty sure not everyone uses the S Pen on their like Ultra phone, they might as well just get rid of the whole thing and instead include a whole like 6,000 mAh battery or something absurd like that. Now that would actually be useful. Okay, so who's this phone actually for then? This is the S25 Ultra, so obviously you might be coming from something like an older Samsung. So if you have the S24 Ultra, no, this is not for you. S23 Ultra, not really for you either, unless you care about the ultra-wide camera upgrade. But like I said earlier, you probably won't notice the upgrade. But I mean, if you're looking for a reason, then that's one. The S22 Ultra, maybe leaning more towards the probably side because the processor is probably a little bit older, the software is a little bit dated, and overall like the design is a little bit dated too, kind of. It's an updated design obviously, like we mentioned already with the S25 Ultra, so 3 years of software and hardware updates, and it is quite a substantial difference. What about the S21 Ultra? Absolutely, if you have the S21 Ultra, you should definitely upgrade to the S25 Ultra, unless you care about the S Pen Bluetooth features, in which case you should probably go for something a little bit older, maybe the S24 or 3 Ultra, or if you really want like a newer phone, then you can wait for Samsung to maybe reintroduce it back into the S26 Ultra. I don't know, who knows? So long story short, is the S25 Ultra for you? Well, if you have the S24 Ultra, no. If you have the S23 Ultra, maybe, but probably not. If you have the S22 Ultra, probably, especially if you care about like the camera upgrades and all that kind of stuff. And if you have the S21 Ultra, yes, for sure, unless you care about the Bluetooth S Pen features. But what about if you have a Pixel? Then I would say that if you really want a phone with a stylus, then this is kind of the only phone for you. And what about iPhone? If you have an iPhone, should you get the S25 Ultra? Is it for you? Well, if you're tired of the upgrades for iPhone every year, then yeah, the S25 Ultra is a solid competitor and a solid phone for you if you're looking to like spice things up with your new smartphone, both hardware and software wise, especially software. The S25 Ultra isn't really a solid upgrade, like it's not a huge overhaul or anything, but it is one of the best Android phones of this year that you can buy. And if you have something newer than the S22 Ultra, then you're probably fine. This probably isn't the phone for you. But if you have something older or you just want to upgrade over your current phone, then this is a solid upgrade. Are you thinking of upgrading? Which phone are you using? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm super curious to see what you're coming from if you're considering the S25 Ultra. And again, if you enjoyed the video, support the channel by leaving a like, subscribe to see more, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.